On today's Glory Days show, the race for the Stanley Cup moves into the second round as the Rangers advance past longtime rival Montreal and take on Ottawa.
Our good pal Mike Swan will join us today about his Rangers, and we'll catch you up on the other still remaining teams in what we think is the best postseason in all of sports.
Stanley Cup, baby. The Mets have come stumbling out of the gate. Derek Jeter is buying the Miami Marlins, and former Patriot and convicted murderer Aaron Hernandez is not only dead, but found to be a rump wrangler.
And we miss you the last few weeks, so we've got a lot to talk about. Sit back, grab a cup of Joe, and relax. The best hour of your sports week is coming up on Glory Days right now.
Inravio.com.
Hello again, everybody. Today is Saturday, April 29th, 2017, the 100th day of Donald Trump being president. And you're watching the Glory Days show. You watch the Glory Days show with Bruce Disco. My name is Paul Discofani, and this is my good friend, Bruce Oler. Anthony Mazzallo and Bonnie Schultz are behind the glass today, and you are joining us on the Inravio TV network, where we stream live from Studio C right here in the great state of New York. Good morning.
Feels like the summer out there, doesn't it?
I know, I'm wearing the short sleeves
today. We won't be talking baseball today, though. I guess we'll talk a little baseball.
We're going to talk a little bit of baseball
but
today.
it is hockey season, man.
It's hockey season. It is. It's very strange though, because the hockey playoffs are going on.
Yeah.
The
basketball playoffs are going on.
The basketball play. I haven't even heard anybody discussing the basketball playoffs. The NFL.
Draft.
Takes center stage this week because of their draft.
Yeah.
You know,
and the Mets.
The Mets just stink.
Well, I'll tell you, it was an exciting game last night, man. And I'll tell you, people were, I guess, questioning Terry Collins' move at the time, right?
Yeah.
The Mets were up 7-3. They gave up 2 runs in the ninth. Familia's in. He's got the bases loaded. And Bryce Harper's coming up. And
I was just going to...
Collins decides to take Familia out.
I was trying to figure out if Harper was just going to hit a grand slam or... I figured at least a single.
Well, that's right. At least a double to win the game. Maybe a walk-off grand slam.
Murphy would win
Daniel Murphy, that's right. That would have been even worse.
But instead, he brings in Josh Edgin.
Yep.
So he gets a 1-2-3 double play.
Unbelievable.
To end the game.
Unbelievable.
And so I texted my son.
And the Mets' losing streak is ended at 6 games. Meanwhile, I know we hate to talk about these guys, but you have to give the Yankees some credit again, man.
What Yankees?
Down 9-1 last night. And what was the final here?
Our
11. Yeah.
Our lovely and talented producer has probably got a giant chub right now.
I gotta say, that was a miracle win. I didn't see it coming. I thought they were done when it was 9-1.
Well, so did a lot of us,
We talked about, even just say 2 years ago, the big talk around town was, what team would you rather be?
Yeah.
Would you rather be the Mets with their future, or would you rather be the Yankees with their future? And it was overwhelming, the Mets.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that same survey done today.
Yeah.
I mean, the Yankees are what, 14-7, something like that?
Yeah, after last night, 14-7.
Yeah.
14-7, tied for first.
Yep.
No, they're in first. They beat
they're in.
Baltimore, who wasn't first by half game.
Okay, so I just want to know what the hell's going on in Florida.
It's in the water, man. It's in the water, I guess. I don't know.
The players, they're dropping like flies.
Yeah.
Right? the team itself, I mean, going into last night, they were in last place. You know, and there was 7.5 games behind the. There were 7.5 games behind the Nationals going into last night. You know, Ron Darling said something that was very interesting.
Yeah.
During the course of this miserable week, he says you can't win a division in April.
Yeah.
But you could certainly lose it.
Well, you could fall so far behind, I guess is his point.
And I think that's really what the concern is. You know.
Now, the Mets, I mean, before this, they won like 7 games in a row earlier this season, too, right? You know, so
they won
I mean,
6 in a row.
It's a very streaky team.
And now they lost. You know, they wound up with this losing. With this, they wound up. They lost 5 in a row. Then they won a game. Then they lost 6 in a row. They were like one. They lost 10 out of 11.
Yeah.
Right, which is just ridiculous.
And then you got the players going down like flies. Like you say, we got a bunch of guys on the disabled list.
Mm-hmm.
Lucas Duda.
So here's some of the injuries in just the first 29 days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they started out the season. Lugo
Yeah.
and Nemo
got
hurt. Well, Nemo got hurt in the World Baseball Classic. Lugo, as a result of the World Baseball Classic, right?
Yeah.
Then Mats.
Yeah.
David Wright.
Yeah.
Then right? Now the season is going into like the second week. We lose Darno.
Yeah.
Then in the same game, we lost Duda.
Yeah.
Flores. Then within hours, we lost Syndergaard and Cespedes. Okay.
Well,
now, you know, of course, you talk about the training staff and whatever else you want to talk about with the thing, but also part of this entire thing is just stupidity.
You think so?
Well, there were scenes that came out yesterday of Cespedes taking batting practice before he got hurt. Right? He's taking batting practice and he swung and he twisted around and was hurting himself. Right? Why would you play him in a game when that happens?
I don't know. That guy, he's a knucklehead in my opinion.
And the Syndergaard Matt Harvey thing was even more disconcerting.
Yeah.
Because not that Syndergaard was hurt. Well, first of all, they didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Because the media didn't find out, and I really don't have a problem with that.
You mean the crooked media?
The crooked media didn't know about it. And I didn't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Okay. What I had a problem with is you knew that Syndergaard was hurt. Mm-hmm. You knew because first of all,
and you were going to spot start Matt Harvey, and you didn't let Matt Harvey know about it
until that morning.
Right?
How could you not? Because Syndergaard said on Wednesday he was shagging balls in the outfield on Wednesday, and he couldn't lift his arm up over his head.
Wow.
So at that point, wouldn't you say to Matt Harvey, "Hey, listen, you know, be ready."
Yeah. Don't go wild tonight. Okay, they may need you in the morning.
And I wonder if it was more of him going wild that night than the fact that he worked out a lot on the day before. So anyway, I don't want to talk about him anymore.
Okay, we won't.
Let's talk about the draft.
The NFL draft. Well, the extravaganza began on Thursday, this year in Philadelphia, with the first round picks only being selected. 3 quarterbacks were selected in the first round, and the teams that selected them all traded up in the draft to get them. The Chicago Bears, who had the number 3 pick, traded up with the San Francisco 49ers to take North Carolina quarterback Mitch Trubisky. The Kansas City, it's not the Royals, my friend, it's Kansas City Chiefs, traded up from the 27th pick.
Well, no one would have known that if you didn't point it out.
For the 27th pick to take Texas Tech quarterback Patrick Mahomes at number 10. Then the Houston Texans traded up from number 25 to nab quarterback Deshaun Watson from Clemson at number 12.
You know what's funny?
What's that?
I kept also writing the Houston Oilers.
Yeah.
Every time I typed it out.
Houston Oilers. Yeah, that's great song, man. Great song.
Some things are just in your head.
Yeah, so I know nothing about these quarterbacks. I do know that the Jets made they were pretty highly, that they got some good accolades for their pick that they made with the safety.
Well, here's what it is. The Jets had the number 6 pick.
Yep.
Okay, and all of the people, the
Experts.
draftniks,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call them. We're talking about, by the time the Jets picked number 6, that quarterback, Mitch Trubisky, might have been available.
Yeah.
And that they shouldn't take him.
They shouldn't.
They should not.
He's supposed to be the most NFL-ready quarterback out of these
Well,
three.
they said
I think.
the other guy, the guy the Browns took, and not the Browns, the guy Houston traded up to get, he might actually be starting for them.
Yeah.
Trubisky's a guy who hasn't played a lot, right? Do you know, Anthony, you know much about him?
He's got a cannon of an arm. He's being compared to guys like Jay Cutler because of his footwork. He has no footwork. And he has 1 year of experience playing in college.
Right, as a starter.
As a starter. That is no, just playing in general. 1 year as a player.
So how do you make that guy a number 2 pick? That's some of the
that's
things that
Chicago.
I don't understand. I mean, Chicago gave up a 3rd round and a 4th round pick this year, and then a 3rd round pick in 2018. But they just signed Mike Glennon. Who,
Chicago is a messed up organization, it sounds like.
that's why, you know what? We should have talked to Jerry Schwartz. Maybe we'll get him on the call next
Yeah,
week.
he'll
Talk
give
about
us his
that.
greetings and salutations, too, I'm sure.
So now, Patrick Mahomes, who Kansas City got, they still have Alex Smith. So at least he's got a.
No, it sounds like what the Giants did with their I don't know if it was a 2nd pick, but the Giants picked up a quarterback who they say will probably be groomed to succeed Eli Manning.
Right. So the guy that Houston took, Deshaun Watson, he's from Clemson.
Yeah.
Right. They don't have a quarterback. They traded. Remember, they traded for Brock Osweiler. Or
Yeah.
I think they signed Osweiler as a free agent. That guy was a bust. So he's gone. They
Yep.
traded him. They traded him to Cleveland, which is why.
That's where all quarterbacks go to die is Cleveland, man. You know.
But that's why I was surprised that Cleveland. I was surprised that Chicago made the trade because they were afraid that that Cleveland might take the quarterback, but Cleveland didn't take the quarterback. So why would you make that trade? Did you really think the 49ers were going to take that guy?
What was that movie, Draft Day? Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Well, you know what? That movie, I think, was what the Browns were thinking about.
Yeah.
Because the Browns had been putting out the rumors that they were going to take Trubisky.
Let me tell the Chicago Browns something, okay? This is not a reality TV show, man, okay? It's real life, okay?
So the Browns were putting out these feelers saying, "Oh, we're going to take Trubisky. We're going to take Trubisky," and then they go ahead and don't take him.
Disinformation, misinformation, redirecting. You know?
Then, when it came time, they really wanted Watson.
Yeah.
And when the number 12 pick came around, they were also they tried to trade up from their pick because they had the lower pick now, and they couldn't get him. Because they were thinking, ooh, if we get this guy,
right.
that's going to be just like the movie Draft Day.
Doesn't work out that way. It's not that scripted.
Yeah, so the Jets.
All right.
So the Jets the Jets get this safety,
Yep.
Jamal Adams.
Yep, from LSU.
Do you know they've picked a defensive player in the 1st round every year since they took Mark Sanchez in 2009?
Yep. And the problem I have is with their quarterback still. I mean, they still don't have a quarterback.
But you know what? They said that next year is going to be a quarterback-heavy draft.
Yeah.
And the Jets are getting a top 6 pick next year, too. So. And the Giants took tight end Evan Ingram.
Yep. From Mississippi.
He's the first tight end they've taken in the 1st round since...
I would say probably Mark Bavaro.
No.
No?
Jeremy Shockey.
Jeremy Shockey,
2002.
All right.
So, what do we got? How much time we got?
About 2 minutes.
2 minutes, all right. How about quick thing on
Derek Jeter.
Meet the new boss, Derek Jeter. Jeter, who retired just 2 years ago, is part of a group of investors that won the right to purchase the Miami Marlins for $1.2 billion.
With a B.
Okay? From owner Jeffrey Loria. One of Jeter's partner is former governor and former presidential candidate Jeb Bush. Okay, that's one of the partners. How much money is Jeter putting up, or is he the majority owner? Is irrelevant. Because you know what? He's going to become the face of the franchise anyway. Even if all he put in was $2, everybody's going to be talking about Derek Jeter being the.
It's interesting
owner.
that who's the manager down there? Don Mattingly, right?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Don Mattingly. Okay.
I
By the
think it's
way-
good for baseball. I think I think the Miami Marlins are going to be a good baseball team.
And do you think there's any chance that 75% of the players, of the owners, don't vote?
Oh yeah, for him.
Right.
Yeah.
One other quickie thing. You know who the other group was?
No.
The other group was led by a guy named Tag Romney. His group was in the running.
Yeah.
Tag Romney is
Yeah.
the son of
Mitt Romney.
Mitt Romney.
Okay.
You think that's a baseball family? His name is Mitt, his son's name is Tag.
Yeah, I think so.
By the way, what do you think they would have named their daughter? Slide or? All right,
think about
what about, let's just do one more quick story. This will just take a minute.
Okay.
All right, we're getting permission.
All right.
Go ahead.
Former New England Patriot tight end Aaron Hernandez, who was also serving a life sentence in prison for murder. He had just been acquitted of a double murder when they found him dead in his prison cell. I'm not sure I said that quite right. But anyway, he was in jail for a murder. He was on trial for another murder. He was acquitted of that, and basically, but he had to go back to jail. And then they found him dead in his prison cell. Hernandez hung himself with a bedsheet from the cell window, but he left suicide notes for his wife, daughter, and apparently his prison lover. Now, instead of being remembered as a potentially great football player who just happened to murder someone and gets a life sentence, he may be remembered for one of the stereotypes of being a real tight end.
Do you have to put that in quotes anymore?
Bada boom. I don't know. We are going to make America great again, okay?
Well, you know, the weird thing is that everyone said he left a suicide note,
Yeah.
but there is no suicide note with the guy's name on it. Okay?
I don't think he murdered himself. I really don't.
Well, I don't know. Why not? Why wouldn't you? It's not disgruntled Jet fans. We've already gotten rid of him.
Yeah.
By the way, did you see the when the Patriots went to the White House?
Yeah, a lot of people didn't show, right?
Yeah, you know what? But that's so not true.
Yeah.
The pictures that they showed in the paper, comparing them to when they visited Obama
Yeah.
in 2013, showed so many more people. The reason why was that all of the staff
Yeah.
were
Oh,
seated on the ground instead of seated on the stairs, standing on the stairs.
Uh-huh.
So the Patriots, not Trump, not anyone in the administration, the Patriots put out a tweet that next day saying that they're trying to make it sound like it turned
Yeah.
out of the entire contingent of players that went,
Yeah.
there were only 2 less players.
Okay,
that
Brady.
went to
Now
the
Brady
Super Bowl.
didn't show, right?
Yeah, but Brady didn't show in the other one either.
Oh, no?
By the way, Hernandez's friend
Yeah.
in prison,
Yeah.
he was trying
Hopefully his
to-
name isn't Bruce.
No.
Okay. Okay.
No, he was trying to get him into his cell.
Oh, yeah?
Because he's been alone in his cell, so he wanted company. So he's been housed in this cell that takes 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
So he wanted, but he got denied.
Okay.
They said no. His name is Kyle Kennedy.
Kyle Kennedy.
Okay, but you know what his nickname was?
What? Okay, here we go.
No.
Drum
it
roll,
wasn't.
please.
No.
Okay.
His nickname was Pure.
Pure. I don't get it. All right. We're going to take a short break here on the Glory Day Show. When we get back, it's time to get you caught up on the Stanley Cup playoffs. Mike Swan will join us after the break, talk about the Rangers and the Ottawa Senators. Stay with us. You're watching the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco, only on the Inravio TV network. We are coming right back.
Hey, this is Chris Les Jake, and if Inravio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE. Your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop, 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce Disco here on the Inravio TV network. There is nothing like the Stanley Cup playoffs as the NHL postseason is now underway. 16 teams began the tournament, and now that the first round is over, just 8 teams.
The Elite Eight.
That is basic math.
Yeah.
Okay. Although none of the first round series went to 7 games this playoff season, 11 of the 23 games in the Eastern Conference went to overtime, along with 6 of the 19 games in the Western Conference. And there were a bunch of upsets in the West as the number 8 seed, the Nashville Predators, swept the number 1 seeded Chicago Blackhawks, and the number 2 seeded Minnesota Wild fell to the number 7 seed St. Louis Blues. In the East, there was only one upset, and that was the number 7 Rangers beating the number 2 Canadiens. Okay.
Good for them.
When the Rangers fell behind the Canadiens in the first round of the playoffs 2-1 on Easter Sunday, fans were getting ready to jump off the bridge. Instead, the Rangers pulled themselves together and won the next 3 games, advancing past Montreal to meet the Ottawa Senators in the second round. And although goalie Henrik Lundqvist did all he could, making 41 saves, including 21 in the first period, it was a trick shot that bounced off his back and gave the Senators a 1-0 advantage in the series. Here to talk about it is a man who just may be wearing the same clothes every day until the Rangers are eliminated. Please welcome our good pal Mike Swan.
Swanee.
Mike, how are you?
Hey, Disco. Hey, Bruce. How you been?
Hey,
All
Swan.
righty, man. So we know how. I mean, you and I are 2 very superstitious people.
As I told you, that's why I hadn't called you, because the Rangers were doing so well. What you said to me, they lost the other night.
Yeah, as soon as they lose, you could call me.
Yeah.
Well, I'll change things up too. You know?
Yeah, Disco told me, Swat, he said, you don't even want to talk about them because you think you'll jinx them. So, so I guess we want to get into why are you so superstitious, man?
I've always been like that with my teams. Even when I bowled, if I bowled well in my league, I made sure I had the same shirt and pants ready for the next year.
And you know,
the way I've always been. Yeah,
and
I'm an athlete. You know, the pros do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? When you talk about superstitious, you're not talking about the same thing every time. You know,
no,
as a superstitious person,
yeah,
I have certain things that I know only work occasionally. You know, I mean, you have to change things up. You can't do the same thing every time and expect the same results. That's impossible.
I actually screwed up the night they lost to Ottawa. I thought the game was at 8 o'clock. I mean, at 8 o'clock, So I didn't go down to put it on until 8 o'clock, and I had already missed the first period.
Yeah, the game, yeah, with the
they
7
lost.
o'clock start, yeah. It
they
took a
ended
little
up
while to
losing.
find that. That was on, I think, maybe CNBC, I think it was.
Yeah, well, I had checked out 3 days before
Yeah.
to find out where it was going to be, and for some reason I thought it was 8 o'clock. And I went down about 5 to 8 and put on. I'm like, what do you mean the game's on?
Yeah.
Well, you know, you're a big, obviously a big fan. So you see this, you know, the Montreal series was one of the toughest hitting series I've seen in a long time. They were beating the crapola out of each other.
Yeah, and that's something the Rangers they didn't do the other night.
Right.
Yeah.
They did not play physical. In fact, they looked terrible. They weren't skating. They were standing still and coasting at times. I'm like, yeah, you guys have got to move. Play like you played against Montreal.
You know, the thing I don't understand is the biggest enigma to me for this team is Chris Kreider. I just don't understand a guy that's that big and that fast and that strong, how he just does not exert his will on the game every night.
That is it. And I don't know if you two remember, but years ago when he first came up and he was a rookie, I used to go off on Tortorella.
Yep.
He was always jerking around with Kreider. I said, will you keep benching him? He made a mistake. It's over with. All right? This guy can fly. This guy can shoot. He's physical. And now he's not playing that. You know, in the Montreal series, I just felt like he was afraid to play the way he played because they was harping on him taking out Carey Price 3 years ago,
Right.
Okay.
driving to the net. So I expected to see him turn it back up at least against Ottawa. I mean, he played better in Game 6 against Montreal. He played more like himself, but he hasn't played basically these playoffs. You know. The surprise to me so far is how well Rick Nash has played.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. Rick Nash looked very good against Montreal. He had a so-so game, I thought. Was that Thursday night they played? The Rangers played Thursday night? Yeah.
Yeah, no, none of them was skating,
Yeah.
and they weren't physical. And I feel bad for Lundqvist to lose a game like that the way he played. But I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, Montreal scored a goal just like that off him.
Yeah, I think
And
you're
I'm
right.
wondering
I
if the
think you're
word
right.
is getting around that when he gets down the guard, the post, and he tends to crouch a little.
Yeah.
They're starting to shoot high to see if they can get a
Bank
lucky
it off
goal.
of him. in
You
the
know,
back there.
when you watch the replay of that goal, at first he was high up, his shoulder was just up against underneath the crossbar,
Yes, and then he
and
dipped
then he
down.
crouched down, and that's when that guy just kind
Timing is everything. I mean, you know.
That's what happened in
yeah.
the Montreal series. I'm 100% positive.
I'll tell you what.
Always
And I'm
scored the
not going to say I enjoyed it, but it was really vintage Michael Grabner on Thursday night too.
Oh, did he miss two breakaways?
Well, he went off the post, and then he had a breakaway too. But we got another friend, Bob Zinke, who likes to always tell me how thank you very much for Michael Grabner. You know,
Well,
and he had a great season. But I'll tell you,
expected
man,
that.
you know, this is the way he operates, man. He just has so many chances, and he doesn't convert enough of them, man. He really doesn't. You know.
But he gets the chances, and when we got him in the beginning of the year, I've always liked him when he was with the Islanders. I thought the Islanders were a fool to get rid of him
Yeah.
to Buffalo.
Yeah.
All right? And, you know...
I mean, but he went to
he
Buffalo.
could kill penalties and everything.
Right, he went to Buffalo, then he went to Toronto, and he couldn't get it done there, and all of a sudden he comes to the Rangers, and he's missed a breakaway.
Did he go to Buffalo? I thought he went.
Or was it just Toronto?
I thought he played out in California too. I thought he played for maybe the Kings or something. I thought.
But I was very excited about him. I said, I've always liked this guy.
Yeah.
This guy's one of the fastest, if not the
We
fastest
kept thinking, we
skater
kept
in the league.
comparing him to the old Islander Bobby Bourne.
Bobby Bourne. Yes.
Oh, that's right. He was a left
know?
winger, right? Who had a lot of speed.
Well, you need a guy like that on a penalty kill because you
cover a
you
lot of
cannot treat you cannot cheat on a guy like him because one step and he's gone, man, and then he's going on a breakaway. What's going to happen?
I've been racking my brains because we had a guy like that, and they couldn't afford to re-sign him last year. He went to Pittsburgh last year, but I don't think he's even with Pittsburgh. And he used to get a lot of breakaways in the playoffs. And I'm going crazy. I can't remember.
Hagelin.
Hagelin, there you go.
Hagelin, that's it.
See, we got a Ranger fan in the booth here, man. He keeps
Our producer Anthony Mazzallo is a big Ranger fan.
Oh, yeah. So I said, and we missed that last year. But the Rangers, the announcers kept on saying that, Ottawa plays this 1-3-1 defense. And I feel Rangers got to skate the puck more up the center ice. And, Nick Holden, who's a defenseman, went through that line of three guys many a times. At least get it through there and then dump it and use your speed to get into the corners and beat their defensemen. And like I said, be physical with them once you're in there.
Hey, I want to talk about your favorite subject, which is the Ranger power play. Okay, so
no matter, I don't understand. No matter who running the power play, same thing with Tortorella and stuff. They don't shoot the puck enough,
right?
And move it. They don't move it quickly. Don't they watch teams like Washington and Pittsburgh and see how their power plays operate?
I mean, even if you look at last night. I mean, on Thursday. Okay, they get the late penalty with like 59 seconds or 58 seconds left in the game.
Yeah. And they had the extra skater.
They have the extra skater. They get the puck into the zone, and they pass it around like they're on a 4-minute power play.
A guy that I've always said, going back to Tortorella's day, who should play the point on the power play. He doesn't have a booming shot, but he has a low, accurate shot that gets to the net. Dan Girardi.
Okay.
Girardi, okay.
There's rebounds. People can deflect him, and I don't understand why. Because, when he plays 5-on-5, he gets many a shot on the net from out there. And this is what you need.
I mean, they were 0 for 14 against Montreal until that final
and then
game.
They were 1 for 4,
right.
I think.
And then they were 1 for 4 in the final game. But they did score a power play goal, right? Wasn't their goal a power play goal?
Yeah, their first goal.
Ottawa?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, because they shot. But for some reason, they don't move their, and they keep it out. Like I said, I would like to see Girardi play on the power play, all right, and get some shots.
All right, so let's talk about today's game this afternoon.
3 o'clock.
If they fall behind 2-0, does that really worry you, or is this like a must-win game for them?
I would say it's a must-win game because, yes, we won the last 2 at home, but we have sucked at home.
That's true.
We're the best road team in the NHL.
Right.
All right, and that. In fact, I thought it was over in Game 2 against Montreal when they blew the lead with 17 seconds left.
Yeah, and then the Game 3,
now
that looked so bad in Game 3, Swan.
I said, now we're going home where we lost 5 straight in the playoffs. All right, and then they made it 6 straight. And that's the other thing about the Rangers. Do they talk about it in the locker room or whatever? They are probably, I would think they're the worst team when it comes to giving up goals in the first 2 minutes of a period or the last 2 minutes of the period. And Ottawa tied the game. Yes, they were on a power play. Big deal. They scored with like 59 seconds left. It was less than 2 minutes in the first in the period when the Rangers were up 1-0 against Ottawa. They gave up the tying goal. All right. And like I said in Montreal, I don't know. Do they think? They give up that goal with 17 seconds. What do you...
Don't have a heart attack, somebody over, man.
Holden broke his stick before the goal was scored.
Yeah.
So what? Take a goddamn penalty. There's only 17 seconds left in the game. Grab the guy's stick and hold on to him so he can't get it down for a deflection.
Yeah.
So you got powerful... I said there'll be this arm up for a delayed penalty, and they might never get another man on because the time might run out because Montreal's got control of the puck. There's times like I look at this team and I said, do these guys even think? I mean, I played defense in college. I would have been all over this guy.
All righty, man. We're running out of time here. We're up against the break. All right, man. Hey, listen, good luck today.
Yeah, I've already switched, since, like I said, I messed up, so I'm going to try a new streak.
Don't tell us anything about it.
3 o'clock today, Swan, okay? I think it's on Channel 4, too, I believe.
I told Disco last night, 3 o'clock. He said, 3 o'clock.
I didn't know. I thought it was a night game.
It's the NBC afternoon game.
Yep.
All righty, man. Okay,
Great
Mike.
talking to you, Mikey.
You too.
All right.
That's our good pal Mike Swan. We're going to take another break here on Glory Days, and when we get back, we'll talk about the rest of the second round matchups. Stay with us. You're watching the Glory Days show with Bruce and Disco, only on the Inravio TV network. We're coming right back.
What's up, guys? We're Scared No Fair, and we're here with Inravio. If they catch you at a show with one of these bracelets, you will win $100.
That's a lot of money.
So get a bracelet.
Do whatever it takes to get that. Hit them up online.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
This is Joe Larson. You should check out the 505 on Racing Show live every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or catch us on video on demand anytime, 24/7, only on the Inravio TV network.
Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE. Your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop, 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
Welcome back to the Glory Days Show with Bruce and Disco here on the Inravio TV network. For some reason, the NHL playoff format does not reseed the teams after each round to ensure the best teams do not face each other until the conference finals. With the number 7 seed Rangers upsetting the number 2 Canadiens, the number 1 seed Washington Capitals and the number 2 seed Pittsburgh Penguins are playing in the second round. If the league had chosen to reseed after round 1, the Capitals would have played the Rangers and the Penguins would have played the Senators, the number 4 seed. If the lower seeds then advance, it's Washington and Pittsburgh in the conference finals, with the winner playing for the Stanley Cup. That's not the way it was, though. No. At any rate, when we get Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin in the playoff series, that's good for the sport.
Yeah, I mean, out west, the number 1 seeded Chicago Blackhawks are out. Okay, and then the number 2 seeded Minnesota Wild
also out.
So that puts the 2 upset losers, the St. Louis Blues and the Nashville Predators, against each other. You know?
Working in reverse this time.
You know what? Let's talk about Washington and Pittsburgh.
Okay.
First. Sidney Crosby scores twice, and Alex Ovechkin comes on. They show Alex Ovechkin on the bench, and he seems like, I got to go get mine. And then he goes out, he gets a goal. You know, but all right. Let's talk for a second about the whole seeding and reseeding thing.
Okay.
Okay. You know, I believe last year Washington and Pittsburgh played in the second round also.
Okay.
You know, the object of the seeding is to make sure that the number 1 and the number 2 seeds can't possibly meet until the final round. Okay. But that's not the way the NHL does it. You know, because let's face it, there were 4 teams from the Metropolitan Division that made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay. The Rangers were the 4th team, and they had over 100 points. You know what I mean? So
102.
100, yeah, 100 and something the Rangers had. But you know, you look at the way the playoffs are, and I don't have a problem with how they pick the teams. You know what I mean?
You mean the top 3 and then the next, and then the 2 wild card are really the next 2 highest.
But do you really need
teams.
to take the top 3 teams in every division? Why not just the top 2 teams in each division, and then the next 4 teams with the highest?
I don't know. We're going to talk about the series. We're going to talk about the seeding, man.
Well, the thing is about the series is how great would this have been if this was a conference final?
Yeah, true. But I mean, it's still a great series, whether it's for the finals or not.
It's going to be. So now Pittsburgh, they're the reigning Stanley Cup champions. Okay, but Washington, won 2 games
Yeah.
and tied 2 games against the Penguins. Penguins hadn't beaten them at all until.
And the Washington is a President's Cup winner, right? That team with the best record overall.
118 points.
And I think they were the same last year. I think they were the best team too.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And Washington, of course, has this. They're getting a reputation.
Yeah.
They're getting a reputation.
You
as
mean
a team.
choke artists? Just can't deliver the big win, man.
Well, you know what? If you remember the Islanders of the early 80s, the 77 team, the 78 team, the 76 team, those teams were, the Islanders killed themselves to become the President's Trophy champions. And then there was some team that beat them.
The Rangers. Yep.
Okay, so Pittsburgh wins the first game 3-2. You know who their goalie is? Marc-Andre Fleury.
There you go.
He's back in goal because the other guy's hurt. So they're in the series. They're winning 1-0. Next game is tonight.
Tonight, I think it's 8 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So who do you like in this series?
Well, I think I'm going to have to go with Pittsburgh.
Me too.
Me too. Pittsburgh. You know what? We didn't even say about the Rangers and Ottawa. I think the Rangers are going to win this series.
I hate to agree with you, but I do too.
All right, so we both like Pittsburgh?
We both like Pittsburgh, and we both like the New York Rangers.
So that could be terrible for the Rangers. I'm just saying. Anytime I root for the Rangers or the Yankees, it seems to be a disaster.
I wouldn't say I'm rooting for them. Okay? I will say that I think they're going to win.
All right. So let's talk about St. Louis and Nashville.
St. Louis and Nashville. So, both
of those
this
teams
is 7 and 8. So this is the opposite of what you said. Where we got number 1 and 2.
Now you
number
got
1
7
and 2
and 8.
playing in the first
Right.
round.
So
second
Nashville sweeps
Chicago.
I mean, and you look at teams like Chicago and the Kings. Those are the teams that you always think are going to be.
Well, the Kings didn't make the playoffs this year.
Right, Kings didn't even make the playoffs this year. So now you got Nashville and St. Louis. Nashville's never won a Stanley Cup. St. Louis, I'm not even sure if they won a Stanley Cup. Did St. Louis ever win a Stanley Cup? Do you know? Can you look that up for me?
I don't think they have. They've been to the finals because, at one time, all the expansion teams, I think, played in one division.
Yeah.
And they were always the early entry, I think.
Well, Nashville has your favorite guy on it.
Pecorini. Here we go. I love Pecorini. He's the goalie.
Do you know that
And they also got Subban, right? Because
Yes,
that was the
the guy from
trade they
Montreal,
traded Weber for Subban.
Have never won a Stanley Cup.
There you go.
They've been to 3 Stanley Cup finals, 68, 69, and 70. But they've never won a Stanley Cup. So there's 2 teams that have never won a Stanley Cup. I'm not sure, did Anaheim win a Stanley Cup?
Yes.
So Anaheim and obviously Edmonton. But Edmonton hasn't won a Stanley Cup
In a long
since
time.
they beat the Islanders.
Well,
they went on that run with the Islanders.
Yeah. Well, that's right.
Since Mark Messier left. That's how long it's been since Edmonton's won a Stanley Cup. Okay. So Nashville, obviously these teams have not met in the playoffs. Well, I guess it's not obvious.
Okay. Well, you like to say it's obvious. It's obvious to you, not to the rest of our listening and watching audience.
Anyway, it's the 3rd time in NHL history that the number 1 seed was swept by the number 8 seed.
Okay.
I would have thought it'd be the first time. But anyway, what else we got in there?
Nashville, and they also have Peter Laviolette. I like Nashville. I think Nashville's going to win this series.
All right, you're going to take Nashville.
Who are you taking? Please disagree with me. We have a little controversy here.
I'm going to take St. Louis.
Okay.
Because I'm rooting for Jake Krebs to be on the show next week.
Okay, all right. Fair enough.
Actually, you know what? I have a soft spot in my heart for the St. Louis Blues.
Because
when I played hockey in the adult league, our team jerseys were the colors of the St. Louis Blues. It was the nice blue jersey with the yellow trim
Oh,
and the red.
but it wasn't the blue. That wasn't the name of your team, though.
No.
What was it?
We were the Hunters.
Hunters. That's a terrible name, man.
No, we had a great logo. Our logo was a goalie standing like this, but it looked like the scope on a
Oh, really? Okay.
on a gun. I thought that was a pretty good logo. I should bring that jersey in to show you guys.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good jersey. All right, the other game, the other series is
Edmonton and Anaheim.
Anaheim, right? So we've got a team that used to be called the Mighty Ducks. Why did they take the Mighty out of the name?
How did they, or why did they?
Why did they?
I'm not sure. It was probably copyrighted or something. But I thought that
Well,
Disney maybe owned them.
Didn't Disney own that team? That's why they called them the Mighty
Right.
Ducks. Right. I don't know what they were before Disney. Were they an expansion team? You know,
Yeah.
what's good about this show is we don't really know anything. All right. So we were talking before the game about how, before the show, about Edmonton and what a really good young team they have.
Yes. Well, because they've been bad for so long, they've built themselves up through the draft. And Connor McDavid is a great player.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a lot of great young players. I think they remind me of Toronto, who didn't get very far this year. I mean, they made the playoffs, but they lost in the first round. But this is a team that I think is a year more advanced than Toronto, and I see them winning this series. I mean, they're up 2-0 right now,
Right.
and
you
they're
know
coming
what?
home.
Yeah, and you know what? Anaheim hadn't lost a game in regulation since March 10th.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
The intangible there is that Ryan Getzlaff is some hockey player, man. I don't know if you ever watched that guy play, for Anaheim.
Do you realize that Edmonton had just 70 points last year? 70.
Wow.
That's amazing. That's an amazing turnaround from one year to the other. And the last time they had 100 points in a season was when they won their last Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
In 86, 87. So they have, is that the Devils goalie, Cam Talbot?
No, former Ranger
goalie, right?
Former
Cam
Ranger
Talbot,
goalie.
right?
Yep.
He set a franchise record with 42 wins last season, right? And we were talking about the draft, and we were talking about organizations in general. You know, we in New York have had a lot of very bad franchises that get good and then immediately drop off the face of the earth again, and we can't figure that out. How could that be? And what we were talking about earlier with that, it seems that there's three things that make a successful franchise. You're able to evaluate talent, then you're able to develop that talent, but most importantly, you got to be able to keep that talent in order to sustain success.
Well,
Okay?
yes and no. I mean, that sounds like a dumb answer, okay?
Right.
But if you think about it, I mean, you look at a team like the Patriots, okay? Are they good at evaluating talent? For sure.
Yeah.
Are they good at developing talent? For sure. But, they always seem to be able to find people. I don't know how many guys, I mean, there's a core they hang on to. They wouldn't be the same without Tom Brady, obviously.
Right.
I mean, But besides him, who's the other, how many other constants are there? The coach.
The coach is the...
And then Gronkowski, maybe, although he doesn't even play he didn't play all that much last year.
Again, I think it goes back to being able to evaluate talent.
Yeah.
Because evaluating talent really now in sports today comes from two places. It comes from your own organization, people that you draft, but it's people in others' organization, players from other organization that you target either through a draft or through free agency. Now, you look at the Mets organization. Okay, we've had a lot more down years than up years. Okay, this was only 2015, 2016 was only the second time in franchise history that they made the postseason 2 consecutive years.
I thought it was the first time.
No, second. They did it in '99 and 2000 with Bobby V.
All right.
Right. So, how could that be? How could you get all the way to the pinnacle of being a playoff team and not be able to get back there the next year? New York has, we have the money here. So the last part of the equation, which is keeping the talent, shouldn't be an issue. We should not have an issue with money here in New York. So therefore, it's got to be evaluating talent, or in the case of the Mets, a lot of times it's over-evaluating the talent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look at what they thought about some of their guys that were in their minor leagues. It turned out to be bums.
Nobody.
Rafael Montero.
Yeah.
Can't get anybody out at the major league level.
Meanwhile, Tim Tebow had a great week this week in single-A ball, man.
He had 2 games with 3 hits a game, right? I think it's time to move him up to at least double-A.
Why not? Why not?
Oh, Mighty Ducks dropped the Anaheim dropped it because somebody bought the team from Disney.
Right.
That's why.
That makes sense. And I almost had that right without even knowing it, but.
So I just can't understand. So in my opinion, what we're talking about is organizational failures.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the Mets. You could say everything you want to do about Sandy Alderson. He did make all those trades to get all that pitching, but they knew going into this year the problems that they were going to have, and they didn't address anything. They just kept saying, "Well, it'll be all right. David Wright will play." When you go into the season hoping that your starting third baseman is going to play 130 games. That was what you were hoping for. That's like hoping the guy's going to hit 70 home runs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you didn't address.
You can't be hoping, man.
You had 5 outfielders. Okay, you had 5 outfielders, all of whom were left-handed. What are you doing? You have to do something. You have to make a trade. Yeah, you weren't going to get what you thought you were going to get, but you needed that. Do you know that when Cespedes got hurt, Nemo is the only other outfielder in the entire system that's on the 40-man roster. They don't have another outfielder on the 40-man roster.
Wow.
So they couldn't even bring some minor league kid up because you have to remove somebody from your 40-man roster. That's poor planning. Look at the Islanders.
So who do you blame for that? Is that Sandy
Alderson?
Alderson?
Sandy Alderson. I blame it on Sandy Alderson. I blame the use of the pitching staff unless Sandy Alderson is pulling the strings on Terry Collins as to who to play and when to play them. That's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
Right? But look at the Islanders. Okay? How many bad years have we had? Right?
Quite a few.
Why aren't we the Toronto Maple Leafs right now? Or why aren't we the Edmonton Oilers? Why don't we have a team that looks like it could be sustainable for a few years?
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of my favorite Islanders, Kyle Oposo, he's no longer with them, and he was a homegrown talent.
And why is that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is that just silly? Is that just stupidity? I just can't understand these organizations, and I can't understand that you can't see beyond the numbers.
Can we ask what Donald Trump thinks about all this?
It's his 100th day today.
Okay.
We are going to make America great again.
We're not making the Islanders or the Mets great again, but we are making America great. All right. Yankees and Rangers are great. Well, you know what? The Yankees are a good organization. That's the issue here. Okay?
It's all about the way they're organized.
How does an organization continue to find talent that can produce and play? That's Brian Cashman. He's done the job. He's done a great job with the Yankees.
That's the Yankees. That's the Patriots.
Right.
To a slightly lesser extent, I mean, the St. Louis Cardinals have a great organization too. You think about that,
And especially with the Yankees. The Yankees have a ballpark that has specific dimensions, and they draft and develop and trade and sign players who can use those
excel.
dimensions to their advantage.
Exploit it.
The Mets built a stadium that requires 3 center fielders. Okay, but they knew that going in because at the time, who was their guy? Their guy was Jose Reyes at the time when they was beginning to build the stadium. And all they could think was they weren't worried about home runs, they were thinking about triples. And the Mets have 5 outfielders, none of whom are a center fielder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And They don't have
Well, you don't think
speed.
Lagares is a center fielder?
Well, he was, but again, over-evaluating talent.
Yeah.
This is a guy who can't stay healthy, and now all of a sudden, he's healthy, but he can't hit. You know what? There was a reason why the Yankees, who don't let go of anybody often, let go of Kevin Long.
Yeah.
Because
And
he
you
can
know,
only-
yeah, and you know who the Yankees are going to be going for next year, I'm sure?
Who?
Bryce Harper, man. Can you imagine the Yankees with Bryce Harper? Oh,
Bryce
my God.
Harper.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah, yeah.
And you know-
470-foot shot last night, right? You know.
And you know, you're talking about Toronto, right? Toronto's one piece away, probably. You know what that piece is? John Tavares.
Yeah, that's right.
John Tavares, who was born in Toronto.
Yeah.
My
Turn out
goodness.
the lights. The party's over.
All right, we're going to take another break here on Glory Days Show. When we get back, we will wrap up for the weekend. Stay with us. You are watching the Glory Days Show with Bruce Disco, only on the Inravio TV network. We're coming right back.
Hey, this is Chris Jake, and if Inravio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show, Bruce Disco. So what have we learned today?
Swan is one superstitious guy.
Yeah, you know, I learned you don't want to talk to him during the... If you want the Rangers to win the Stanley Cup, don't talk to Mike Swan during the playoffs.
Also learned that he agrees with me about my evaluation of Chris Kreider. I don't understand why Chris Kreider is not the dominating player that he should be at this point in time, man.
And we learned that I hate the Mets and the Islanders now.
They just can't evaluate talent, develop talent,
and keep talent.
Retain talent.
Retain talent. You know, the other thing is, by the way, if the Ranger fans, I apologize to all the Ranger fans out there because now they're going to get swept because
we both, well,
I'm backing them now.
Yeah. I think they will win, though. I really do. I mean, they have a good team, and they have a great goaltender.
Well, you know, our longtime pal Sue Ferraro
yes,
is a big Ranger fan.
Well, she was back in the 80s, man.
She is still
It's
a
always
Ranger
good
fan.
to torment her when
She's
the Islanders
another
won those
one.
4 cups,
She's like,
you know?
like Stu Schiffman. She's down in Florida now.
Oh, is she?
And she's still rooting for the Rangers. But she doesn't know what to do with one of her grandsons.
Why?
Her grandson, her son lives in New England. He's a Patriot fan,
Uh-huh.
a Red Sox fan, and a Bruin fan.
Where's the Islander fans in this team, man? I don't get that, man.
All right, we got to get out of here.
All right.
All right, thanks to our producers, Anthony Mazzallo and Bonnie Schultz, for all their hard work and making us look so good out here. Thanks to Mike Swan for helping us out today and breaking down the Rangers Ottawa series. And please don't worry about the Ranger power play. I'm afraid we may never speak to him again. Thanks, Chuck and Bonnie, for putting up with this nonsense week after week and allowing us to bring you this type of quality programming. And of course, thanks to you, our loyal viewers. Don't forget, you could check out the Glory Days On Demand page at www.inravio.com to watch any of our past shows or any of the other great shows on the Inravio TV network. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe, and we will see you next time.